Look at the little olive. Hello Cancers, welcome to your reading. I'm Sailor Solitaire, and this is your September 2017 tarot reading. This is a general reading, of course, so please make sure to watch your other signs, sun, moon, rising, even your Venus sign, any sign that you identify with, as sometimes the messages will be in those readings instead of just, let's say, your sun sign. And if you do want a private personal reading with me, then send me an email, solitairethesailor@gmail.com. Whew. All right, Justice card, kind of showing up and then wanting to hide again. So I do feel like some of you Cancers may not be 100% honest with yourself about the work that you're putting in. Maybe some of you are just keeping busy and fooling yourselves into thinking that you're actually putting real effort into something when really you're just kind of going through the motions, or you're kind of tricking your brain and tricking other people around you. And this Judgment card wanting to hide it back into the deck but revealing itself, it's almost like you're being kind of pulled in different directions internally, and you want to come clean about something, but at the same time you're scared of the consequences, scared of the backlash. So that being said, I just feel like Cancers, try to be honest with yourself so that you can sleep better at night, and that you won't maybe lash out in other ways, and you won't have all these unexplained sort of outbursts or something, which I feel like some of you Cancers may be doing. Maybe some of you Cancers do need a vacation, do need time off, or you need a little bit more romance into your life to kind of refresh yourselves, renew your spirits a little bit. But that's no excuse. But again, we are all human, so don't be too hard on yourself, but try to, if you have anything to come clean about, and if you have any confessions you want to make, I do recommend doing that so that you can be more at peace and you'll cut yourself a lot of stress. The truth will set you free, Cancers. Alright, now let's see what the rest of the messages are for you. The first card is giving an overall indication of the energies at play for you. And the first card for you Cancers is Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I feel like there's some sort of struggle for some of you Cancers. It's like you guys have goals, you have dreams, of course, and you at one level want these things, and you really are driven and determined to achieve your goals and to make those dreams into realities. But there's something right now kind of blocking your vision. There's something in the way, and it's almost like there's some sort of blockage, maybe emotionally or mentally, but not, I don't think it's like anything tangible, anything physical that's blocking you, preventing you from reaching or making a plan for reaching your desires. But your mind is a bit clouded. It's a bit muddy right now, and I feel like it's hard for you to kind of see the bigger picture. So maybe going back to that Judgment card, some of you Cancers are kind of, you have something deep inside of you, or that you're kind of pushing deep inside of you, and you don't want to come out to the surface. It doesn't have to be, like a betrayal or something like that, some wrongdoing, some sin kind of activity, but there's something that you're not being 100% honest about or with, and you may be having that tunnel vision, you may be focusing on that, and kind of, your whole reality revolves around that right now, or trying to suppress it, and a lot of your brain power is going towards that. And I feel like some of you Cancers are now losing sight of the big picture, and it's hard for you to really see beyond that, because this Three of Wands to me is a visionary card, and you guys are right now, you guys are in the dark, keeping somebody else in the dark, or you guys are keeping yourselves, like your true feelings, in the dark, and it's hard for you then to see beyond what is immediately in front of you. So let's see if we can provide some answers, provide some guidance. The next card for you Cancers is something that you guys are missing, something that you need to be aware of. And in this case, this is quite fitting because there is something, you guys are unable, or you're finding it difficult to see beyond what, the immediate or the present moment. Not that, of course, you want to be too into the future and you want to be in the present moment, but right now it's like there's something that you're almost obsessing, like you're fixated on. So let's see what you are missing that you should be aware of. Seven of Cups. Okay, Cancers, this is water energy, just like you. We do have the Three of Wands, which is fire energy, and again, something is just blocking you. Something is like preventing you from getting over something or from moving forward. Your whole like mindset, your reality is focused on one thing or on a certain feeling or something, and it's hard for you to see beyond that. And with the Seven of Cups here, this is a card of illusion. So as something you're missing, it's the illusion. So maybe you guys are so far into your fixation and this thing that you're trying to suppress that you don't even realize that you're not being honest with yourself. You're fooling yourself even. You're fooling people around you and yourself as well. This card to me is fantasy world, and as something you're missing, I do feel like you guys are getting too caught up in ideals, getting too caught up in on the what ifs, and I definitely feel like you guys are holding something back from yourself or from other people, possibly a partner or a family member or even at work, but more I feel like there's more of a personal dynamic, a personal relationship, and you're holding something back, and so you're retreating into a world where the lines between reality and dreams and real and fake, those lines are being blurred, and it's almost like you're kind of living, or you're staying in this limbo state where maybe some of you are purposefully not being upfront or being unavailable, not giving the whole story, not or leaving your answers, or you're leaving what you say vague, really ambiguous, and I do feel like you're not even realizing that you're doing that, but you're trying to keep it open, and it's almost like you're stalling and you're holding something back. For some of you Cancers, I do feel like this could be, maybe completely different, but for some of you Cancers, this is like, you guys are experiencing creative blocks, and maybe you have writer's block, or you have artistic block, or maybe you're just not motivated to do the things that you normally love doing, whether that's, waking up and going to work, or spending time with family, or reading a book, or something that you normally enjoy doing. You're finding it hard to do that, and I feel like what you're missing is a bit of romance, a bit of excitement, a bit of playfulness, and kind of a break from the mundane, the everyday realities. You do need a little bit of fantasy, because fantasy is not all bad. You need doses of reality and a break, and you need to exercise your imagination. So for some of you Cancers, this could be like, okay, you're feeling blocked, you're feeling unmotivated and uninspired. Go do something that, is not, maybe for, you grown-ups, not something that grown-ups do. So maybe get in touch if you have kids, do something like learn about their world and their life, or even if you don't have kids, try to reconnect. I feel like there's definitely a youthfulness to this, but more, if you're totally not interested in the younger generation and what they're doing, then I feel like, getting lost in a fantasy world, like in a movie or a book, or just your own daydreaming. I feel like for some of you Cancers, this could be healthy, this could be good. There is a difference between escaping reality, and taking a healthy, refresher, a break from reality, so that you can enhance the quality of your life and refresh your spirits, and you can possibly be more inspired, and find and kind of be more grateful for the life that you have, and to see inspiration, see the wonder and the beauty in everyday life. All right, so the next card is general advice for you Cancers. And we have Five of Swords. Okay, this Five of Swords is definitely like coming together now, where it's like maybe, you have been kind of escaping a little bit for some of you Cancers into a fantasy world because you've been suppressing some things, holding some things back. You're trying to avoid confrontation. You're trying to kind of keep the peace. You don't want to make waves. You want to retain the status quo, and you're afraid of changing things up and being looked at negatively, in a negative light, and being judged. This Five of Swords to me is conflict. Like, look, you can see it's almost like a vicious circle, though. It's a cycle, and I feel like you Cancers may be holding some stuff in, and it's hurting not only you but hurting other people. Not only hurting other people, but hurting yourself as well. And it's just, nobody's happy in the situation. But as general advice, I do have to say that you may have to come back down to earth, to reality, and face these things. A little confrontation, I feel like, is what is needed for some of you Cancers. It's like, you're kind of off into the fantasy world, and you don't want to come back down to earth, and you don't want to, engage in any negative opinion, negative confrontations, negative discussions. Possibly, I feel like for a lot of you Cancers, this is like somebody who you're in a relationship with, or you're starting a relationship with, and there's some things that you have to be honest about, and you want to kind of keep things light, keep things the way they are, because you don't want to break that illusion. You don't want to, knock yourself down from that pedestal. But I do feel like, having the courage to tell the truth, and having the courage to open up those lines of communication that are not comfortable, that are not pretty, that will bring you one step closer to to getting back to that state of happiness, because it's not going to be permanent, this confrontation. It's not like, I feel like for most of you Cancers, it's not going to be like, making or breaking your relationship, or it's not going to, have drastic effects on you and your and how people treat you and how people look at you. I feel like it's just something that you guys are overthinking and you guys are fixated on, and I feel like if you just take that step to get the process over with, and go through that, and then finally be able to heal and to move forward and to kind of put it in the past, put it behind you, I feel like that is something that you Cancers may need to just build up the strength to do, the emotional strength and the psychological strength. And then I do feel like, once you kind of bring that to the surface and release it and take care of it, I feel like, things will be restored. You'll feel more motivated and more inspired. And I feel like you won't have to kind of watch your back all the time. You don't have to like tread so lightly. I feel like you can just, unwind. You can relax. You can be yourself again. And the outcome card for you Cancers is Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, so this Four of Cups, you have another Cups card, more water energy, more emotional energy, things to do with matters of the heart and the subconscious. So as the outcome card, being the Four of Cups, I do feel like things are going to be shaken up a little bit. Again, definitely strong signs of confrontation and somewhat of a conflict, but I do feel like when compared to these two cards, or combined with these two cards, I feel like this is a necessary step in your development, in your growth. And I feel like right now you guys maybe are putting it off. You guys are delaying the inevitable almost. It's like you guys want to live, in darkness, or live in an altered kind of reality, kind of your own reality for now. But I do feel like, the truth is going to catch up to you. So I feel like maybe when it comes from yourself and you initiate that process of healing, it will be easier for you. As Four of Cups to me in reverse is about relationships that are firm and stable, and that you can fall back on, that you're used to. They are going to be kind of are tested. They're going to be maybe possibly turned upside down for a little bit. They're not going to be what they were. And so of course this is frightening, this is scary. You don't want to lose relationships. That's the exact opposite of what you want. You don't want things to change so drastically, but I do promise you that this will be beneficial for your development. I do feel like you have to kind of develop that courage and that firmness, that ability to kind of stand your ground. Not that all cancers are pushovers or that you guys are pushovers at all. I just feel like right now, you avoid confrontation and negativity and negative interactions with people so much that you're sacrificing your own integrity and your own happiness. So I do feel like, yes, your relationships will be tested, there will be some sort of confrontation, but I do feel like you can break that cycle, and then you can move towards healing and move towards a more balanced, more of a give and take sort of relationship and environment. Even a relationship that you have with yourself, it'll be more respectful for you and your needs, and you will be more independent, but you'll be more okay with your decisions. You won't have to sacrifice so much of your own happiness for other people. So this Four of Cups is to me, like, not that you guys are going to be closing your hearts, but I definitely feel like you guys are going to be more selective about your time and the favors that you do for other people. So I do feel like, once you kind of get everything out in the open and you deal with that, you will try to prevent yourself from getting hurt or prevent yourself from making those same mistakes again. And I feel like you're going to kind of lay down some boundaries, lay down some laws for you and for the people around you, so that you set those boundaries. People will respect them, they'll respect you more, and you'll respect yourself more, and you will find that all this ickiness, all this unpleasantness, you can get the business out of the way, and then you can get back to kind of being inspired and just living a more harmonious, more content lifestyle, more balanced as well. It's not going to be completely lopsided to fantasy and not completely, like mundane sort of life. I feel like you can get that balance, but you need to, get some things out of the way, off on the table, so that you can kind of brush them off and put them behind you. So everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, so that you can stay updated with my readings, and like this video if you found this helpful or valuable, and I'll see you guys next time.